at 6 tonight.
Good evening, I'm Bob Schieffer. They were hoping the formation of a new government in Iraq would calm things down. Instead, it seems to be making the situation worse. The ongoing violence has also made it harder for Army recruiters. Enlistments are down, and tonight we'll look at the extraordinary lengths that some recruiters have been willing to go to meet their quotas. In addition, we'll cover these stories.
Lost at sea. I'm Jim Acosta with the story of two teens who vanished on the open water, then lived to tell the tale.
I'm John Roberts at the White House. She's America's latest comic sensation. Here's Laura.
I'm Elizabeth Palmer with a visit to the world's nose job capital, and you'll never believe where it is.
This is the CBS Evening News with Bob Schieffer.
It was just 3 weeks ago that American commanders were telling reporters that violence in Iraq was tapering off and that if the trends continued, it just might be possible to start bringing some American troops home early next year. But over the past 4 days, since Iraq's new government finally started to take shape, attacks have increased and there's been nothing but trouble. Here is Mark Strassman in Baghdad.
It's cold-blooded intimidation. Car bombings thundered again today through Baghdad. One explosion this morning killed 9 people at a crowded shopping plaza. Another left 2 Iraqi policemen dead. Since Friday, dozens of guerrilla attacks have killed more than 100 people, the bloodiest spike in violence here since Iraqis went to the polls in January. So if you're asking when this country will ever be secure enough for U.S. soldiers to start coming home, the answer lately is no time soon.
My name is Douglas Wood.
Another menace resurfaced, the kidnapping of Westerners. On this hostage tape, Douglas Wood, an Australian engineer, pleaded with U.S.-led forces to leave Iraq and spare his life. Wood, abducted over the weekend, lives with his American wife in Alamo, California. These relentless attacks are aimed at the credibility of Iraq's new government. For the first time in nearly 4 centuries, Iraq's Shiite majority is about to take charge. And that enrages the Sunni minority here. They mostly boycotted the January elections, and it's now Sunni insurgents responsible for most of the indiscriminate terror that no one here seems able to stop. So when the new Iraqi government takes over tomorrow, the moment will be historic. But to most Iraqis, it will also be largely symbolic. They know not to expect real help anytime soon with their most basic needs: electricity, water, and peace of mind. Mark Strassman, CBS News, Baghdad.
Lindy England is the 22-year-old U.S. Army private who became the public face of the Abu Ghraib prison scandal in Iraq. In a military court in Texas today, she pleaded guilty to mistreating prisoners. It was a plea deal that reduces her own likely prison sentence. Correspondent Bob McNamara has that.
Wrapped in her legal team, Private Lindy England went to her court-martial to plead guilty to lesser charges in exchange for a prison sentence that could see her serve as little as 30 months behind bars. About the pictures that made England the worldwide symbol of American torture and humiliation of detainees in Iraq, she confessed she knew it was wrong, that she wasn't acting on orders as she had claimed, but that peer pressure from fellow reservists is why she went along.
I mean, I was told to smile. Hey, look at the camera and smile. Say cheese.
Before sentencing, England's attorney is expected to portray her as a naive, sympathetic figure with a history of mental health issues and learning disabilities.
We're talking about such severe learning deficits that she wasn't able to talk in complete sentences until she was 7 years old.
Guard Charles Grainer, sentenced to 10 years in prison in the scandal, is also expected to be painted as a corrupting influence on England. Grainer fathered a child with England, but recently married Megan Ambule, another former guard. The defense contends that England never questioned Grainer's abuse of detainees because she was blinded by his affection. The sentencing hearing could take several days. Bob McNamara, CBS News, Fort Hood, Texas.
The U.S. Army said today it failed to meet its recruiting goals for April for the 3rd month in a row now that's happened. In Denver, 2 Army recruiters are being investigated for their tactics. And tonight we're going to do something we rarely do. We're going to show you an extraordinary investigative report, not by our staff, but by our CBS station in Denver. Led by CBS 4 reporter Rick Salinger, the station followed a Denver teenager who wanted to find out just how far recruiters would go to try to sign him up. Here's the story.
17-year-old high school journalist and honor student David McSwain is just what Army recruiters are looking for. But he suspected they might be lowering their standards.
I wanted to see how far the Army would go during a war to get one more soldier.
So McSwain showed up at this Golden, Colorado recruiting office, saying he was a dropout. No problem, the recruiter said, and told McSwain in a phone call he recorded to create a fake diploma from a non-existent school.
Be like, Faith Hill Baptist, school or something, or whatever you choose.
So McSwain went online, got a phony grade transcript and a diploma with the name of the school the recruiter suggested, and turned it in.
I was shocked. I'm sitting there looking at a poster and it says integrity, honor, and respect, and he's telling me it's a lie.
Then the high school senior told the recruiter,
I have a problem with drugs. I can't kick the habit. Just marijuana.
The recruiter suggested purchasing a detoxification kit.
The 2 times that I've had the guys use it, it's worked both times. We didn't have to worry about anything.
McSwain had a friend take this video as another recruiter, Sergeant Tim Pickle, took him to buy the so-called detox kit.
Sergeant Pickle, yes. Hi.
We confronted Sergeant Pickle with a phone conversation David McSwain said he had before they went to the store.
Now, when you said about your one problem that you have, what does it consist of? Like
marijuana.
Oh, okay. Okay, so nothing major?
Yeah, well, he said he would take me down to get that stuff. I mean, I have no idea what it is, so you'd have to show me. I mean, is that a problem?
No, not at all, man.
Sergeant Pickle quickly referred us to his superiors.
I'll make up something from there for him. That's no problem.
Lieutenant Colonel Jeffrey Broder, who heads Army recruiting for the Colorado region, did not defend the recruiters.
Let me tell you something, sir. I'm a soldier. I have been a soldier for 20 years. This violates trust. It violates integrity. It violates honor. And it violates duty.
The 2 soldiers involved have already been suspended from their recruiting duties. They could face anything from a letter of reprimand to a court-martial, depending on the outcome of the investigation. Bob?
Now, Rick, what about this kid? I mean, who is he and why did he decide to embark on this project?
Well, he's a high school journalist, and he looked around and he saw many kids his age wanting to enlist in the Army, and he said to himself, how are they going to get in? Some are dropouts, some have drug problems, so he decided to test the system and see for himself.
What kind of reaction are you getting? Are you hearing from other Army recruiters?
Getting overwhelming reaction, Bob, from across the country. And we're hearing from many recruiters who say it's not true when they're told that they might not be punished if they don't meet their quotas. In fact, they say their lives are made very difficult if they don't bring in enough soldiers.
Okay, thank you very much, Rick. Thank you for that report. And this could have a big impact on military recruiters trying to meet their quotas on campus. The U.S. Supreme Court agreed today to decide whether the government may withhold federal education funds from schools that ban military recruiters. More than 30 law schools argue that they have a right to ban the recruiters to protest the military's policy of excluding gays and lesbians. The United Nations today opened a major review of the Nuclear Non-Proliferation Treaty with much attention focused on the nuclear ambitions of North Korea and Iran. UN Secretary General Kofi Annan said in recent developments, including North Korea's resumption of nuclear weapon development, have put the international treaty under great stress. But in Washington, Secretary of State Condoleezza Rice was talking tough.
The United States maintains significant, and I want to underline significant, deterrent capability of all kinds in the Asia-Pacific region. So I don't think there should be any doubt about our ability to deter whatever the North Koreans are up to.
We want to bring our national security correspondent, David Martin, in to put this in some perspective. David, it seems to me that the administration is taking a very hard line about all this. What do you make of this?
Well, certainly if you strip away the diplomatic language from what the Secretary of State said today, what she was saying is The United States has the capability to destroy North Korea. And that is certainly a true statement. But a war with North Korea, even one without nuclear weapons, would be a total disaster for the Korean Peninsula. So this hard line that you're hearing, I think, is in part some jawboning to reassure nervous allies. But we're a long way away from any kind of crisis that could lead to war.
Do the North Koreans pose a nuclear threat to the United States at this point?
And I think the intelligence estimate is that the North Koreans are still several years away from posing a real threat to the United States homeland. But the problem with all these intelligence estimates, Bob, as we learned from Iraq, is you don't know what you don't know.
Thank you, David.
Sure.
Florida's Governor Jeb Bush signed a law today cracking down on convicted sex offenders in the state after 2 Florida children were killed by registered sex offenders in less than a month. The family of one of the victims was present for the signing. The new law could send some offenders back to jail for life or make them wear monitoring devices for the rest of their lives. Coming up next, the First Lady turns comedian. Laura Bush tries her hand at stand-up and brings down the House. That's tonight's Inside Story. But first, CBS News honors fallen heroes Kurt Como. He was highly respected by all who knew him. In civilian life, he was a parole officer. In the National Guard, a sergeant who gave toys to Iraqi children. He enjoyed dancing with his wife and, more than anything, playing with his kids. In his last Christmas card, he wrote, "I can't wait to come home. I miss you so much it hurts."
Let's talk about better. When someone says something's better, it's usually just their opinion. So if you suffer from acid reflux disease, frequent heartburn, and I told you prescription Nexium heals acid-related damage in the esophagus better, you'd want proof. And now, your doctor has that proof. Recent medical studies prove Nexium heals that damage better than the other leading prescription medicine. No wonder they call Nexium the healing purple pill. So call your doctor today and ask if Nexium is right for you. Because if left untreated, the damage could get worse. Other serious stomach conditions may still exist. The most common side effects of Nexium are headache, diarrhea, and abdominal pain. Hey, with Nexium, you don't just feel better, you are better. And better is better.
I'd like to redeem my credit card miles to Miami.
No, blacked out.
Ooh, you sound strong. Please?
No.
Just for me.
Okay.
The answer's always no.
Go from no to no hassle with Capital One No Hassle Rewards. There are no blackout dates on any airline, anytime.
Should have worked at Capital One. What's in your wallet?
We're investing over $1 billion in North America. It began with a new design and research center and test track in California, a new engineering facility in Michigan, and now a state-of-the-art assembly plant in Alabama, creating thousands of new jobs across the country. The result will be a Hyundai like you've never seen before.
Arthritis pain can make people say goodbye to little things they love. Unless they've heard the good news about Aleve. Only 2 Aleve are safe and strong enough to stop arthritis pain all day. That would take 8 Tylenol. Ask your doctor the good news about Aleve.
They have big hearts, big personalities, big friends, and big egos. But they have small mouths. So we created a new food just for them. Introducing Pedigree Small Breed with smaller, easier to crunch kibble and everything else small dogs need.
Laura Bush was the talk of Washington today. The once shy librarian, it turns out, is a pretty good stand-up comic. She stole the show at the annual White House Correspondents' Dinner when, with a little help from a comedy writer, she put the needle to the president. And he loved it, or at least he said he did. John Roberts has our inside story.
It's tradition for presidents to poke fun at themselves at the Correspondents' Dinner. But the Bushes broke the mold when the First Lady shoved her husband aside and brought down the house.
I've been attending these dinners for years and just quietly sitting there. Well, I've got a few things I want to say for a change.
The butt-in was the president's plan, showcased the woman known as his secret weapon in last fall's campaign. But he had no idea what was coming as Laura Bush laid into his famous early bedtime.
I said to him the other day, George, if you really want to end tyranny in the world, you're going to have to stay up later. And here's our typical evening. 9 o'clock. Mr. Excitement here is sound asleep. And I'm watching Desperate Housewives. Ladies and gentlemen, I am a desperate housewife.
The White House couldn't have been happier. The First Lady earned the president some much-needed goodwill at a time when his ratings are down, his second-term agenda stalling.
But George and I are complete opposites. I'm quiet, he's talkative. I'm introverted, he's extroverted. I can pronounce nuclear.
The routine continued right through to this morning when she corrected the president on a date.
Yeah.
18th century.
You become a comedian and an editor.
They may not be Burns and Allen, but no question this was a side of Laura Bush the public has never seen. And it may just be the best publicity tool the president's got.
George's answer to any problem at the ranch is to cut it down with a chainsaw. Which I think is why he and Cheney and Rumsfeld get along so well.
From a First Lady who once made her husband promise that she'd never have to give a political speech, and one that no doubt will forever change the way that people look at her. The shy librarian, Bob, has got some edge.
Thank you very much, John. Now about Washington's other first family, the mallard that became a tourist attraction when she began nesting outside the Treasury building under Secret Service protection and hatched 11 ducklings over the weekend. Well, they've all been moved now to their new home in Rock Creek Park. Straight ahead tonight, they are lucky to be alive. These two teenagers are rescued after spending nearly a week at sea adrift in a small boat.
This has been a family business for 5 generations. I learned a lot from my father over the years.
Listening is a very important part of running a family business. You listen, draw your inspiration from the consumer. Make certain we have products the consumer can see the difference in.
To make our products better, we have to listen to people who buy Glade or Windex or all of our products. Listening, that's how we come out with better products.
S.C. Johnson, a family company.
2 dogs with fleas. One calls his vet for Frontline Plus. The other gets the number 2 product. Both claim to be long-lasting, but over half the dogs treated with the number 2 product had fleas after just 1 week. The Frontline dogs? Not one flea. Frontline is the one that's waterproof and kills fleas fast all month long. So ask for the vet's number 1 choice, Frontline Plus, and say goodbye to fleas and ticks.
Right now, if you're taking medication for arthritis pain, the facts can be hard to get a grip on. We can't tell you if your prescription puts you at risk. Only your doctor can. But what we can tell you is that no other pain reliever is safer than Tylenol when used as directed, and that Tylenol arthritis pain works as well as prescription ibuprofen. Hopefully that will give you something to hold on to.
Finally, a denture adhesive with no messy ooze.
Announcing Polygrip Strips. These slim strips are pre-measured to give you a neat, clean seal with all the hold of a cream. New Polygrip Strips holds all day in a neat new way.
Just when I get settled into a nice chest, I get thrown out by this guy.
Mucinex breaks up mucus that causes congestion, so you can get rid of it. And just 1 pill lasts up to 12 hours.
Don't push, I'm going.
Mucinex in, mucus out.
Tonight, News Channel 5 investigates to get to the bottom of a questionable deal. Follow the money through the twists and turns of politics. The money points the way. By the end of this week, News Channel 5's Phil Williams will track down more than $10 million of your money. Was it money well spent or money that's just gone? 3 new stories.
Do you know where the money goes? That's not very good math.
News Channel 5 investigates tonight at 10.
Every line of Don's online tax return was opened up and read by this man.
You're in somebody's computer this second?
That's correct.
But he's no hacker. He'll show you how easy it is for anyone to steal your private home computer files. Tomorrow on the CBS Evening News with Bob Schieffer. Experience you can trust.
We have pictures tonight of a dramatic rescue at sea by the U.S. Navy. It happened Friday when an overturned boat capsized. It was overloaded off the coast of Somalia in northeast Africa. American warships on anti-terror patrol moved in to help. Sailors tossed life vests and rings to those in the water and pulled 89 people to safety. More than 40 others were lost. And that just underlines probably how lucky 2 teenagers in this country are after their rescue at sea. When they decided to go on a fishing trip off the Carolinas, they did just about everything you could think of that was wrong, but they have lived to tell about it. Jim Acosta now with that story.
I love you too, darling.
Just sit right back and you'll hear a tale of 2 teenagers who should have known better.
I was okay for the first night.
1 week ago, off the South Carolina coast, 17-year-old Josh Long and 15-year-old Troy Driscoll decided to go fishing for sharks. And as if that alone wasn't tempting fate,
as soon as we got the riptide, we knew that we were in trouble.
You know those wind advisories for small boats? Well, Josh and Troy ignored those. Before long, the gusty conditions swept them out to sea.
You could see nothing but water, so it was a mind game, and it really got to me.
With no food and fresh water, the wayward teens and their 14-foot sunfish sailboat drifted for 6 days, traveling more than 100 miles up the coast. They survived eating raw jellyfish and gargling salt water. Sunburned, they tried to cool off in the ocean, but were chased back into their boat by sharks.
It was a miracle. And Josh, if we went for him, then our team worked together. We never argued. We were just encouraging each other on and making it.
I think it was a test from God, this whole experience was.
Yesterday, their ship came in. When fishermen reeled in the adolescent anglers 7 miles off, we couldn't make this up, Cape Fear.
I lost every bit of gear, but as soon as I get my gear back, I'm going to be out on the water. But I'll make sure I have 2 motors this time on the boat.
2 motors and perhaps at least one eye on the weather forecast, keeping in mind that when you go fishing, it's better to have both oars in the water. Jim Acosta, CBS News, Atlanta.
And still to come, we'll show you why Iranian women are flocking to get plastic surgery as we begin our special series, Beautiful World. It's next.
Ready to make the move to Levitra for a strong, lasting experience? Ask your doctor if Levitra's right for you.
Levitra is what many men with ED count on to improve their erectile quality.
Strong and lasting when he wants it. It's what Levitra's all about.
Levitra is only for men healthy enough for sexual activity. Do not take Levitra if you take nitrates for chest pains or alpha blockers for prostate problems or high blood pressure, as this may cause an unsafe drop in blood pressure. Side effects may include headache, flushing, and stuffy or runny nose. In the rare case an erection lasts for more than 4 hours, seek immediate medical attention.
Strong, lasting. Experience Levitra for yourself. If you're on another ED treatment, maybe it's time to try Levitra. Ask your doctor about a free sample.
Escalade, EXT, and the larger ESV. Seeing is believing. Cadillac, breakthrough.
Looks like heartburn.
Wait! They also have pressure and bloating.
That's gas.
We don't treat gas.
I do. Maalox Max. Fast heartburn plus gas relief.
Thanks, Max.
Maalox Max. When you have it all, treat it all.
If you're a woman like me, you'd be smart to ask your doctor about prescription Actonel. ACTONEL. Act now and fight back with Actonel.
For a kitchen so clean it sparkles, use new Formula 409. 409's deep cleansing formula strips away impurities for a brilliant clean. Let your kitchen shine with Formula 409.
Uh-oh, want better allergy relief? Benadryl's proven more effective than the leading allergy medicine at relieving your worst allergy symptoms, like runny nose, sneezing, itchy nose, and watery eyes. Benadryl, proven more effective.
You're not alone.
Millions of women like me
And me have thinning hair.
Women's Rogaine can help.
With the only FDA-approved ingredient proven to regrow hair in women.
And now in a fresh new floral scent called Spring Bloom.
So what's stopping you from starting?
Coming up in just moments on News Channel 5 at 6, the man accused of an attempted rape at a tanning salon faces new troubles, a situation that has the TBI involved. Details at 6.
Most of us want to look as good as we can, and for more and more people, they believe that means plastic surgery. In the United States alone, there were more than 9 million procedures last year. That's up about 5%. And it's not just happening here. Elizabeth Palmer is going to take us tonight to what has become the nose job capital of the world as we begin a week-long series, This Beautiful World.
Iran's strict Islamic dress code has backfired in at least one big way. Some young Iranian women are more obsessed with their appearance than their counterparts in the West. And they're lining up in record numbers to improve on the look nature gave them with cosmetic surgery.
In America, the most popular form of plastic surgery is liposuction. But here in Iran, where the female form is kept largely under wraps, women prefer to spend their money where they can show it off.
So Iran, where the morality police used to confiscate eyeliner and lip gloss, is now the nose job capital of the world. A Western nose is more beautiful, says this young woman. These women are waiting for their friend to come out of surgery. On the wall, portraits of classic Iranian beauties. But the Persian nose, it seems, is out of style. Inside the operating room, Dr. Hussein Haidar lifts and shortens. The hottest look, he says, is inspired by Hollywood.
Jennifer Lopez, they bring me their picture.
A picture-perfect nose costs around $1,500.
This is nose job. I'm taking picture of the girl after nose job. She looking at herself in the mirror.
Photographer Nusha Tavakolian is planning a book on Iranian women. The nose craze, she says, started with satellite TV from the West.
They all bring women like a Barbie with a very blonde hair, you know what I mean? The Iranian women, they say, oh, they're beautiful, and they want to look like them.
They want to look like Barbies.
Yeah, they want to make their nose small.
But it's not only women. There are lots of bandaged men on the streets, too.
Iranians in general have big noses, and that's one of the reasons why the surgery is so popular.
Ali Barami insists he had the operation for medical purposes. But the before and after pictures tell a different story. And best of all, Dr. Haidar says, all this nipping and tucking is not un-Islamic.
Plastic surgery is a better appearance for people. And I think the God like this.
And so, apparently, do the patients, who would rather pay than just pray for a new look. Elizabeth Palmer, CBS News, Tehran.
That's the news. I'm Bob Schieffer, CBS News in New York. Good night.
For news 24 hours a day, click on CBSNews.com. Brought to you in part by Walmart, bringing your community jobs, low prices, and support for neighborhood programs. This is CBS.
Straight ahead on News Channel 5 at 6, how does a man with a criminal record end up working with people who cannot take care of themselves?
It was a lunch hour that won't soon be forgotten. A Middle Tennessee restaurant ends up with an unexpected drive-through.
And we've had a cool May day. As skies clear later tonight, the mercury's going to fall and some frost is possible. Your news begins now.
From your news and information leader, winner of the Emmy for News Excellence. This is News Channel 5 at 6.
Good evening, everyone. A man accused of trying to rape a woman at a tanning salon was apparently living with a secret, a big secret.
It appears he stole someone's identity and with it was able to get a job that typically requires a criminal background check. News Channel 5's Mark Bellinger shows us how an ex-con ended up working with some of the most vulnerable of people.
Okay, I don't have a brochure.
This surveillance video helped Smyrna police identify a suspect in last week's attempted rape at a tanning salon. The suspect was arrested on Friday, and police know him as Alonzo Fishback. But Deborah Cole knows him as Lorenzo.